So take us back to when you were in South Carolina and you were transitioning to going straight forward and to going to TSU, Texas Southern University.
Well, it took me a while to get here. From South Carolina, I went into the Army when I was 18. It was back in 2007. So I served 9 years in the Army. And then after serving 9 years in the Army, I kind of stayed home for a while, collecting my benefits again. I decided to come to TSU back in 2020 is when I moved here to Houston. And I started TSU in 2022 I started here.
So being in Texas Southern, we're really TSU pride. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me, being in the HBCU. I started at the HBCU back in South Carolina at Benedict. However, it didn't go how I wanted it to go. Mm-hmm. So I left there with, people laugh all the time when I say this, but I left there with a 0.2 GPA. Like literally, I never went to class or anything like that. So yeah, coming to TSU, it definitely changed my life, made me a better man, better person, better father and husband. So yeah.
And with you having a 0.2 GPA, I know, and then now you're the valedictorian. What would you say to those people who, who feel like, man, I don't want to go back to school? Because some people would do that if they were in that predicament. What made you keep going and what made you keep thriving?
Family. I have my oldest daughter's about to graduate high school, and if I'm gonna push college to her, I have to have my college degree as well. So that motivated me to go back because, like I said, I didn't do what I was supposed to do the first time. So I want my kids to do what they're supposed to do. So I had to set that example. So what better way to do that than go from a 0.2 to valedictorian and have a 4.0 GPA? So. Yeah.
And I know that you mentioned and you were saying that you went to a previous HBCU and now coming to TSU and we have HBCU. And I'm not trying to say, TSU better, but I did hear you mention and you said that it was, it was a different way in feeling. So what made TSU a different feel from the other HBCU that you went to?
The family orientation that they have. Like I got real close with my professors, my fellow classmates. When I was at Benedict, I didn't have that. Nothing against Benedict, but I'm from South Carolina, and all the outside distractions and stuff, it hurt me in the long run as far as like doing my schoolwork and stuff like that. But here, I'm not from Houston, so just going to class, doing what I'm supposed to do, and having those professors that actually cared. Since day one, Dr. Reynolds and Dr. Blacklock, and I can't walk into the office and told them that, hey, I want to coach, and they immediately, hey, this is the plan you need to do. And I accomplished that with their help. So.
And when you mentioned that, what made the pivoting point of when you were going back into when you're saying, like, I want to be an example? Yeah. How did that make you to who the person that you are today of saying an example? Because I did hear that you were going to be like a PE teacher or coach.
Well,
I know you're going to be like admired by other people who are going to look up to you. So how are you going to keep that going throughout your tenure of being at Cleveland ISD?
Just being that example, just showing up every day on time. Like I said, when I went to the military, it instilled a lot of discipline in me that I didn't have before. So I took all of that I learned in the military and brought it here to Texas Southern. And I know a lot of my classmates will tell you that I always, I was always that I'm gonna say father figure to them, but because I'm older than them, but I was always that father figure to them. And hey, I need to get up and get to class. If I can be here on time, so okay, you can get your work done and stuff like that. So just being that natural born leader that I am. So all of that stuff has helped me, and it will allow me to continue to help the younger generation. That's why I want to be a teacher. So.
Got you. And then also too, just to like wrap this up a little bit, is that you graduating here, I know you got to keep the legacy going. Are you going to be alumni? Are you going to be in a part of the association? Yes, are you going to tell your kids to come to TSU? Like, what is that? What are you going to plan on doing with you being an alumni and you're graduating tomorrow?
Yes, I'm definitely joining the alumni chapter. However, unfortunately, my oldest daughter, like I said, she's graduating a week after me. She did not want to come to Texas Southern. She does not like the heat here in Houston. It's different, of course. She's actually going to Clark, Atlanta. So still in HBCU. So kudos to her. Yeah, she's going to be going to Clark, Atlanta in the fall. So